Quentin L. Red Allen was born October 24th, 1906, at Terry, Montana, and passed from this life on November 19th, 1983, at the age of 77. When I was young, everyone called him Booger Red. I have a book about Leo Kramer, and there was a guy that he named Booger Red because of how wild and daring he was. My guess is that was Red Allen, but the book did not say. In the 1950s, Red lived at Tonasket. He was a cowboy who could do any chore that needed to be done. He was a good calf roper, steer wrestler, steer roper. He also entered the wild horse races and wild cow milking. Red mounted and mentored a lot of young guys in the steer wrestling event. Red judged many rodeos, and his wife Colleen timed. Red was a storyteller, and he often embellished to make a good story. In the movie The Lusty Men, there was a character named Booger Red, and he was a storyteller. One of his stories was that he was bulldogging, and the judge rode up and said, "Red, there's something hanging down your cheek." It was my eyeball. I just reached in and pushed it back in the socket. I had to laugh because it sounded just like Red Allen would tell the story. I knew Red Allen well, and I wrote this poem dedicated to his character. Remembering Red Allen by Ted A. Moomaw. There are many around who really knew Red. He was a colorful person with lots to be said. Red was a good hand at any event. You could bet on stories wherever he went. Red won rodeos all over the Northwest. At Madison Square Garden, he was put to the test. He won his event while competing there. His cowboy skills were far more than fair. When his roping and dogging was going full steam, Red helped a lot of guys with his good dogging team. When help was needed with a horse or a cow, Red was the one with all the know-how. He stopped competing and did just fine. Years and years, he managed a truck line. They hauled cattle and rodeo stock. Through all the years, Red still liked to talk. Red was hit by one of life's cruel jokes, by suffering from a series of strokes. He still told stories, but at a slower pace, and he was still looking for a horse and a steer to chase.